Are you ready?
Yeah, turn up the heat.
Are you ready?
Is he ready?
Oh, yeah, he's ready.
It's go time.
Ready to go beyond the scores and stats.
I love it.
Good.
Let's bring it in. It's showtime, right?
Welcome to High on Sports.
The whole deal is like some kind of crazy game.
Exclusively on MorningShowCentral.com.
Hello, and welcome to High on Sports. I'm Ralphie, and with me, as always,
Ashley.
And I am Von Erich.
and whether you are joining us tonight on one of the many glorious apps or at home on your computer, thank you for making High on Sports a part of your evening. If you are not listening on one of those many glorious apps, remember to take your smartphone, search for TuneIn Radio. It is free to download. Simply install it, search MSC or Radio Network, hit play, and you are listening to us live on the go from your phone. That simple, that easy. So why not do it tonight? Remember, as always, you can call the show toll-free, 1-888-668-0742. Email your questions or comments to shows with an S at MorningShowCentral.com. Of course, you can tweet at us at high_on_sports or with a hashtag high-on-sports. Facebook.com/high-on-sports is the Facebook. And the website is, of course, high-on-sports.net. It's got the archive of all our past shows, my blog, and a bunch of other fun stuff. Again, that is high-on-sports.net. All right, we got a jam-packed show for you, so let's just get right into this here. It is round one. Let's go. All right, how you guys good this week? You guys loose?
Yeah.
Everybody ready to
We're
go?
awesome.
Ready to
Good to go.
All right. Let's get right into this then. We're gonna talk a little baseball, as I'm sure Von Erich would enjoy. But unfortunately, we're gonna have to talk about what the Indians did this week, because I'm sure Von Erich won't enjoy. Hyped is, I think, people are calling it the most important series since 2007. Since that series where we totally dropped it, 1 game to 3, or 3 games to 1, I should say, against Boston in the playoffs. They're saying some people were saying it's the biggest series since then. You're down 3 games to Detroit, 4 games to play, beginning of August. You got swept, and you laid an egg twice against the Angels. You finished 1-6 on the week. Now, the Indians are now back 7 games from Detroit, from that number 1 spot in the division and the automatic berth into the playoffs. But they are only, again, still falling, but only 4 games back from one of those wild card spots, which, as you know, even if you got to win 1 game
Yeah.
in order to continue playing from there. And I'll tell you what scares me the most about if the Indians do grab that wild card spot is you got to go Masterson. You have to go Masterson in that game. That game is your season. Let's say they win. All of a sudden, you're playing somebody in game
And
1.
you don't have your number 1.
Freaking Boston. I don't even know. I can't even think who you'd play. But suddenly you're playing somebody who's going with their ace, and you can't go Masterson. Who are you sending out there? I mean,
That's why I don't like that one game.
it's scary. I think it immediately puts it immediately puts the winner of that game at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Against the next teams. But I don't know. It's they want more playoff teams, so that's the way they did it. Still not necessarily a big fan of it, yeah, like you said. But I mean, 7 games back. Detroit's been kind of red hot right now. They actually, was it 3? Did they make Mariano Rivera blow 3 saves in a row? Was it? Or was it 2 or 3, if my numbers are correct? Which he has never done in his career. Blown 3 saves in a row. Never done that in his career. I mean, you would say, like, oh, of course, you blow 3 saves, generally they're going to find somebody else. But I mean, like, with how long he's been playing, I thought it was something where it was first time in, like, 1,000, like, only player ever to, like, play 1,000 games and, like, drop his first, like, or no, it was, all right, sorry, this weird stats get me confused. But it was Miguel Cabrera. Miguel Cabrera, he gave a home run to one night. Then he gave a home run up to him the next night. It's the first time in his career that he has allowed a player to go back-to-back for home runs against him. Obviously over 2 different nights, because no one would ever hit back-to-back on him. He's a closer. But it's the first time he's done that in his career. It was something like it took him 1,000 games or so, I believe, to get to that point or something like that. And it's just insane when you hear a number like that, like took him 1,000 games to do something. You're either really bad or you're insanely good. And clearly this is insanely good. But, I mean, it's... Boddick, I mean, I don't... How high on the panic meter are we? Let's say 1 to 10. 10 is... We're done. Let's get out of here. 1 is, it's fine. We're going to the playoffs. Where are we? 1 to 10 right now on the panic meter. As a fan, tell the fans how panicked they should or should not be.
After a week like this, you got to be high up on that meter, at least around the 9 mark. At least.
Oof.
Very panicked. It's just the performance was pathetic. There was almost no fight in our guys at all. And it was almost as if they just rolled over and died. This is not the first year this has happened. This is the 3rd year in a row that we have had a big series against the Tigers, going up against them with basically the division on the line, and we get swept in the series. So this is, basically old hat for us. And, you hope for the best. It could be a lot worse. We could be the Twins.
Who we're playing tonight.
Yeah, we could be their fans. You kind of hope for, guys with using PEDs when you have a team like that. Something to get a win.
We shared that picture on Facebook, and they had those 3 guys went to a game together, had to have a cardboard cutout be the W to spell out twins. Couldn't draw enough fans to spell out the name Twins.
Aww.
But no, it's this is the thing is that they're not playing like they should, and that seems obvious to say that, but it really goes a little deeper than that. Is for example, they're about to play Minnesota. Minnesota has not been good for really a number of years now, since Minnesota has actually been a threat in this division at all. Yet the Indians in their last 10 stops to Target Field are 8-2. 2-8. Sorry, backwards. I'm all backwards today. They've lost 8 of their last 10 appearances in Target Field. I mean, it's just a stupid field next to the dump. But I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous. They should be performing better against teams like the Twins and teams like that, and the Angels. I mean, yeah, you hear Mark Trout, C.J. Wilson, all that and stuff. They're having a bad year. I mean, the Angels they're 53 and 63. They're 14 and a half games out in the West. That is absolutely insane. I'm just seeing how far back they are right now. 14 and a half games back, and this is that team with Pujols and Hamilton and Trout and C.J.
Hamilton
Wilson.
was batting a whopping 214.
Ouch.
Or 215.
That is
I'm like,
awful.
Jesus, Mark Reynolds was playing better than that.
Who is now unemployed.
Yeah, he just got the boot.
Yeah, Mark Reynolds gone.
I'm taking a look at the schedule right now. The end of August, we got some tough series. We got to play the Tigers again, and we also have Atlanta. But as far as September goes, it's looking pretty lackluster. We got the Mets, Royals, White Sox, and the Astros. And then the Twins again. We play the White Sox a number of times. Royals and White Sox, division rivals. And if we can get some victories over them, we can at least stay in the hunt. You hope for at least that much, to be playing some meaningful baseball in the month of September.
Exactly. You know what? I love the Browns, and I've it's been established on the show. I'm pretty much a football first guy, but it's always a good thing when the Indians are doing something that can actually take eyes away from the Browns games in September. You know what I mean? It's obviously I'm always pulling for the Browns, but if I'm choosing to watch the Indians instead, it means the Indians are actually doing something. So always good when they can actually pull some eyes to themselves in September and everything. But yeah, like you're saying about the schedule upcoming and everything, it's we start a bit of a road trip here. They're going to be playing in Minnesota, of course, tonight's Tuesday and Wednesday. Tonight's at 8:10 start time because of the central time zone, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I said before, this is not high on geography. This is high on sports. But then, of course, Wednesday. This is weird. Wednesday they're doing the 1:10 start time against Central because it'd be noon on a Wednesday in Minnesota. What? I don't
hate
get it.
Those
Everybody's at
middle
work.
of the week.
So they're playing Detroit again, right?
One more time.
They will play Detroit in Detroit on Friday, August 30th, Saturday the 31st, and Sunday, September 1st will be the last time the Indians play Detroit in the regular season.
That's going to be fun when the Indians come to Detroit.
Yeah, that's what's coming at the end of the month. We started this month off, of course, for the most part, with Detroit coming here, and it was not pretty.
No.
Obviously, this is look at the numbers too from the game. Is 10-3 was how they ended the series. 10-3. The first game though. The first game might have been the hardest, and just because they had
it won.
They had them. They absolutely had it won. Oh man, you look at it. Wednesday was 14 innings. Ugh.
Yeah, they blew that one too. The
It's just-
tying run on third.
They didn't just get swept. They lost in like the worst ways.
Yeah.
That you could. We got to as Indians fans. We just you think like, well, let's go out there and win the series or even split the series isn't bad or whatever. And you change your goals to even like, well, don't get swept. This wasn't just swept. This was beat in all of the cliche terrible ways you can be beat. The blown save. The losing it in 14 innings where you stay and you wait and you watch and you wait and you wait and you wait only to see a loss. 10-3, the blowout. You get to see like all of the terrible ways that you can lose a game.
And then
They managed to cram in one series.
And then the heckling from the fans.
Oh, of course. I mean, it's something you deal with because of the proximity of these cities. It's not like we're playing, Oakland. We're not worried about anyone from Oakland being in Cleveland. Let's be honest, we're not worried about Oakland fans being in Oakland, to be honest. But speaking of, they do go to Oakland later this week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Hopefully, Chris Perez will have another blowout with that one fan that always heckles him.
Oh, God, yeah. The Indians heading on a West Coast trip that's not too bad as far as when you folks at home can watch. We do have a 10:05 start time on Friday against Oakland. Then it's 9:05, and then actually a 4:05 start time on Sunday, being in Oakland. And the following 30-game series, which will be next Monday, and Tuesday and Wednesday, is another 3-game set with the Angels in Los Angeles. You got 10:05, 10:05, 7:05. So not as bad as it could be. It could just all be 10 o'clock start times. But unfortunately, I hate when they do this. I hate the West Coast trip. But then I get it, in the West Coast, I guess they can have it rough too when they have to watch, stuff at weird times and everything. But it's just, like, the game doesn't start till 10:05
so
p.m.
rough.
and stuff. I mean, I can't do that.
No.
I can't do that. You're looking at a game that's starting to end at like 1. I can't do that. And it just sucks because you got to wake up the next day and see the highlights.
Yeah.
But well, you have to go find the highlights because God forbid they play them on SportsCenter. But yeah, I don't think you're going to see many Indians A's highlights leading off the
Right.
show. But no, I mean it's like Von Erich said. If we can get to September with our heads above water, and I don't mean above 500, I mean still in it, relatively speaking. If we haven't just given up all hope by the end of this month, then yeah, there's. This isn't over here. This is not by a long shot. It was a bad week. Like Von Erich said, you should be up there on that panic meter right now. But you shouldn't be at 10. I don't sell this team right now. I know it's tempting with Brown's season is starting. They just played the preseason games and everything. I know it's tempting to try to think, so long. But you got to get out there. You got to get to these games. They still mean something here, people. They still matter. Mark Reynolds is gone, so we don't have to worry about that guaranteed 4 outs a game. That's like an extra 4 at-bats. This team just bought itself by getting rid of one guy. That's awesome. But I mean, yeah, like you look at it, we got more interleague coming up. The Mets. We get to play against the Mets. The Mets are coming to Cleveland. That'll be fun. 3 straight wins. That'll be great. That'll be fun for everybody but Mets fans. But yeah, I mean, you still need to get out there. And Danny Salazar going again tonight, seeing if he can keep this thing going. Of course, he did lose against Detroit, but he had a pretty good performance, all things considered. We got Salazar, like I said, going tonight. McAllister tomorrow. Carrasco has found his way back in the rotation. I wouldn't exactly call that a reason for optimism, but who knows? Maybe he finally gets his stuff together and everything. Jimenez, that's the thing with guys like Carrasco and Jimenez. You just, it's a good sign because that just means, hey, in a couple days, Masterson will be back out there. Like, I love the way the rotation is right now because you see Jimenez and you're like, that means Masterson's tomorrow. All right.
Jimenez just pisses me off because you never know what you're going to get from him. Are you going to get 8 shutout innings, or are you going to get 15 runs in the first inning?
Which, you're right, which is why we should all be a little more happy with Carlos Carrasco, because we just know he'll be
Yeah,
awesome.
we know he's going to suck.
Carlos Carrasco is not going to try to fool you. What you see is what you get. What you see is nothing, but,
Yeah.
he's 0-4. Let me check his ERA this year. Now, he hasn't been up on a
5 something?
long-term basis by any means. 5, he wishes. 7.75.
Oh, my God.
7.75. His career ERA is 5.35.
Oof.
So, yeah, wow. No, that's that's not pretty. But I mean, you got Masterson still having a relatively decent, a great year, really. Let's be honest here. And Danny Salazar, who knows what could come from this. Plus, September call-ups are right around the corner. Who knows? There's going to be more contributors to this team, at least for the rest of the regular season. Of course, if you're brought up after the September call-up, you can't be on the playoff roster. But who knows what's coming? We still got Trevor Bauer pitching away at AAA, and we got prospects, and we still have a team that really has talent and really can get things done. It's not time to give up. That's the whole message here to take away from all this. It's bad right now. It is bad. But it is not time to give up. Now let's talk about something that could be much worse. A little more biogenesis stuff here. Not much more to come out of it. Now it's, the players who have been suspended, and they've taken their suspension and they've moved on. You're not going to hear from Johnny Peralta again. By the way, though, Johnny Peralta, I believe, actually is eligible to play in the postseason. Should Detroit make it, which, let's be honest, they'll make it. But
See, I think that's crap.
yeah, it's a little bit ridiculous. But, I mean, guys like Braun, it's funny because the guys they told Braun, no postseason, but he wouldn't have a postseason anyways.
Yeah.
Then other guys like Johnny Peralta, it's like, you could have the postseason if they make it, but we know
Yeah.
they're going to. It's just 50 games, however far that takes you. The real story here, though, is A-Rod. A-Rod, whose suspension started, kind of, Thursday, and he's still playing. I mean, ESPN's jumped right on it. I get a little
Power of appeal.
Exactly. I get a little alert from them because they have their little Monday Night Baseball, and they'll be like, see Mike Trout and the Angels take on Alex Rodriguez and the Yankees. It's like, whoa, we're already listing it as Alex Rodriguez and the Yankees.
Yeah.
I don't think the Yankees want it listed Alex Rodriguez and the Yankees. I mean, that's just I don't know about that one. But he the big story, of course, is obviously he's appealing it. And still no word exactly when they're going to hear the appeal. Is the talk still at the end of the season? Is he going to have this time the rest of the year here no matter what? Has there been any update on when they'll hear the trial for this one, Eric?
It might not be until November.
See, that's crap.
That's absolutely ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous because that's just more time that he gets to play, and gets to do the reason that really upsets me is this story I'm looking at right now. A-Rod hit a homer actually this weekend. All right, his first since he came back, first of the year technically because he hasn't played at all. He is now only 12 homers away from tying Willie Mays. Which, I mean, it's going to put him even higher up on the all-time list. And it's just, you talk about the asterisks and everything, people say that there's obviously been talk of with the steroid era and everything, putting asterisks next to certain records being broken. And a lot of people in their own mind have that asterisk next to Barry Bonds and everything like that and stuff. But this is, not only have you been found of using steroids, you're on a suspension right now.
And he's still...
And hitting home runs. You could catch up to him while suspended. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, just 12. And it gets even worse, people, here. This is 12 homers shy of tying Willie Mays in the all-time list. He just hit his 648th, obviously. If he should tie Mays, he will get a $6 million bonus. It's absolutely... I mean, that $6 million if he should happen to tie him while he should be suspended right now and not making anything.
Yeah.
That's my problem with the whole appeal process and everything. Is it's just delaying it and everything, and it's
Because, and I want to know what, because didn't they, at first, they said you're either going to take the suspension or if you appeal it, we're banning you for life?
That was
what
the
the
talk.
hell happened to that?
Exactly.
Because now he gets to appeal and he's going to get to play the rest of the season. They're going to make the playoffs. He's going to get to play in the playoffs. And,
I don't know if we'll make the playoffs.
well, that's
Go
true.
on.
That is true. I
But
forgot they
still-
sucked this year.
But still. We're
But
talking
still.
personal achievements on his own. He might tie
But-
Willie Mays.
Yeah, and that just is like a kick in the face to Mays, who obviously played the game clean because when he played, there wasn't a such thing as steroids.
At least that we know of.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, we know they weren't illegal at the time.
That's true. That's true. You hear the rumors, though? Ty Cobb, inject himself with monkey testosterone. That is 100% a rumor. I don't think that happened. For sure.
I'm guessing that was just to get high.
It was probably.
Who knows what it did?
He wasn't trying to, enhance his performance, as they say.
I don't know if that would make you better at baseball. I don't know what that would do.
Neither
It sounds
do
like that's
I.
for some other problems. It sounds like to me. I don't know. But yeah, no, you know how many home runs Willie Mays hit while he was supposed to be suspended? None.
Because he was never supposed to be suspended because he played the game right.
Exactly. At least to
And
know
you know
to
what?
an extent like that.
If I was a pitcher, you know what I would do every time A-Rod came up? I'd peg him. I don't give
Sure.
a crap. I don't care if the bases were loaded. I don't care. I'd peg his ass.
What was injured? A knee or an ankle or something?
Yeah. No,
Well, there you go.
Because
Hit
it was
him right
his
there.
hip, and then
Hit him right there. Hey, they're about to start playing Boston here.
I'd
You're about
peg
to-
him.
yeah.
Every time he came up, I'd pop him in the hip or the knee.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea at this point. I mean, you may face a suspension.
I don't give
Hey,
a
you
crap.
just do it once and then leave it, we'll just start a new trend. Every game, a new pitcher
Pegs his ass.
pegs A-Rod in the knee or ankle or whatever and just keeps it going. I think it's weird, though, how A-Rod, I think some of it is like the court of public appeals, though. Or, I mean, sorry, not public appeals. The court of public opinion. A-Rod is not a likable guy.
No, he's a douche.
Not at all. Nobody likes him. The thing is, which makes me think, as baseball fans, the sport's for us. Can't we just get together and overthrow him?
Right?
Can't just all baseball fans get together, capture him and, just tie him up or something?
The only people in the world that like A-Rod are Yankees fans, and half of them don't even like him.
I mean, if you think about it,
They only like him when he's good.
this country is founded on a principle of majority rules, correct?
Yes.
Right? So if 51% of the population decides they don't like anybody, A-Rod, for example, we can just tie him up and do whatever we want. We can
be
we
gone.
can say if
Sounds legit to me.
if 51% of this country says A-Rod doesn't play baseball, he shouldn't be playing baseball
No.
anymore. Mob mentality, mob rules.
I'm okay with
That's
that.
how we beat the British. With the mob mentality. And, exactly. Angry
More like
mobs.
militia.
Whatever. Same thing.
Same
We start a new militia and we go for A-Rod. Allegedly. I'm not telling anyone to do that. I'm not encouraging anyone to capture and tie up A-Rod.
And just say you're
Unless
no longer playing baseball.
51% of us could get together and
Tell A-Rod, yeah.
formally agree on it.
He's never allowed
we'll
to play
start a
again.
petition on that stupid petition website. A petition to get A-Rod tied up and beaten. Or, probably smarter, get A-Rod banned from baseball for life.
Yeah, that's probably the more legal route.
Well, anything's legal if 51% agree. That's the rule. Majority rules. That's the law. That's what the country was founded on.
Oh, God.
You make a good point, though, about what you said back when we were still talking about A-Rod. The concept of what they started to do with Ryan Braun, whereas you take this 50-game suspension or you take the rest of the season, or, we have all this other stuff, we're coming at you for this, 100 games, whatever. It was basically you can take 100 and try to fight it, or take 50 right now and we're just done with it,
Yeah.
And that was the deal. That's how it worked. And then there were all those rumors, you either take, all of next year or whatever, or, we got a lifetime ban potentially. And I was like, no, I'll take that one, but I'll also still try to appeal it.
Yeah, I'll still appeal it. It's and then the fact that they're not even they're gonna let him play the rest of the season because they're not even gonna listen to the appeal. Then what the hell is the point?
Then I'll tell you what.
I don't-
If
what's
you're
the
going to do
point?
that, then does it stay a 211 game suspension, but it just starts leaking into
Right?
the
Because it was supposed
season?
to be the rest of this season and all of next season. Well, now he's playing all these games. Does that mean it's going to
Exactly.
radiate to the third season?
Exactly. Is this?
Like-
Are these going to? Is it every game he's playing right now is a game he's potentially taking away from the start of 2015? Because if it is, that's what it should be. And you know the thing is he's fighting for the money right now. Because
Yeah.
he figures I'd rather play now
And get
than
paid.
than play in 2015 because he knows he's not going to see the money from the end of this contract
No,
anyway.
because once
he'll
he-
be done by then.
yeah, once
It'll
he
be some
gets
kind of buyout.
suspended,
Exactly. It'll be
He
some,
loses, like, I
What
think
he's-
it's $100 million from the Yankees.
and loses
'Cause
what he
still
will be
got
playing.
what?
He's making about 150,000, I believe, a game right now.
Yeah.
That might be due to the fact that he didn't play and everything. But either way, that math is absolutely insane. What he's making per game right now. But the thing is, yeah, like this contract is not going to end with him like, well, you fulfilled your contract, we fulfilled our end. Have a nice life. No,
Yeah.
it's going to be some kind of buyout thing or retirement or something. They're gonna get rid of him once this is all said and done.
Yeah.
They're not going to finish that contract
And that's-
off.
and that's
because
why I
it's
think
too
it's
much money
crap.
for too old of a man by that
Yeah,
point.
and he keeps getting hurt too. So you figure, okay, we're not going to listen to this appeal. So he's going to play the rest of this season. He'll be suspended next season. By then he's old. Well, he's already old, and he breaks his hip again. And then it's just kind of like, oh, well, all those games that you played, I guess you're not suspended for those because you're done and you're not playing. So I'm like, just freaking suspend the man. Tell him to shove it up his ass and go sit in the stands and watch from there because he's not playing. But they're like, okay, we'll listen to your appeal in 4 months when the season's over.
I mean, it's just certain things like you wonder why. I put myself in his position and everything. I think I have the money. I mean, he's never going to be hurting. So, well, who knows? Athletes lose money all the time somehow. As long as you're not stupid, you're never going to be hurting, financially speaking. That is. You have a ring. You have the MVPs. What's your goal right now? Are you trying to
More
climb
money.
up that home run list?
It's all about.
I don't.
Because he's gonna lose. He loses all the rest of his contract once he gets suspended.
Not the rest of it. He'll lose what he's missing, and then he'll
yeah.
come back. But so like we were saying, that's what he's fighting for right now. The rest of his money at this
about
moment,
money.
because he knows that like we said, that money at the end of the contract, he's not going to see it by a normal means anyways.
Yeah.
He's not going to be here that long. But it's just, but I mean realistically, and I look at it, and I know I guess the mentality of once you reach a certain level of wealth, you kind of look at money different and stuff. But I look at it like in my position, like if I have the money he has now, I'm like I have the money. Like I don't know. There's no saving it though from the court of public opinion here and everything. It's like with Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds, did he ever fail a drug test?
I don't think so.
No,
I think so.
not even once.
To be fair, though, that is back when all testing was done anonymously.
True. But then there were certain things like he when he did lose that one court case, or something about perjury or something along those lines where they got him on like a technicality where he didn't see jail time, but it was like probation. That was the court of public opinion. Is when, because it's all like by the transitive property, you serve some kind of like probation time because they decide you lied on under oath. What you lied about was whether or not you've done like performance enhancing drugs, whatever. So it's like no matter how you do it, no matter how you do the chain here, whatever, the public thinks what they think, and it's always going to be like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, we know you cheated, and that's why there is just an astounding amount of people in this country that will not think of Barry Bonds as the home run champ.
No.
That will say, nah, Hank Aaron's, that's the home run champ, and that's always going to be that way. And in a lot of people's mind, that won't change, unless somehow somebody could come along cleanly and do it, and I don't think you can anymore, at least not anytime soon. And that's just how it's going to be, and that's how it's going to be with a lot of these guys. There's a lot of these guys. There's going to be no saving their image. I think there is no way that A-Rod turns anything around. He could.
I mean,
tomorrow.
no one liked A-Rod even before he got busted for
Exactly,
roids.
and that's a big part of it. Is tomorrow A-Rod could just be like, free puppies for all the kids in America.
And we'd still be like,
all of them.
I still
And we'd
hate
be
your
like,
face.
great, so now this thing's going to poop in my house.
Yeah.
And my kid's irresponsible. He's not going to take care of it. Thanks, A-Rod, you jackass. You ruined my life again.
He is a very hateable guy.
He
He's
is.
just so hateable.
The
It's his
douchebaggery
face.
just like radiates off of him.
It's his
It's just-
face and just everything about him. The facial hair he has right now is like, oh, I want to kill you. Allegedly. You know?
I
Okay,
could care
Barney.
less about that. It's just the way he is. He's a douchebag.
He is. He very much is. And I'm not saying you have to be a saint if you're an athlete and stuff. I consider myself. I give guys some leeway on things from a personal standpoint. I look at guys two ways. I look at how the public will think of you, and I will criticize a certain move you do in the public as far as like, you idiot, you should know people are gonna hate you for it. And I don't necessarily hate them for it because I don't super analyze these guys.
Yeah.
Like it is, you know, what they do is I admire the craft. It's a comparison I would make is I don't like art per se, but it's like you're looking at a painting. You're like, that's a good painting or whatever. But I'm not gonna be like, oh, but it says here the artist, you know, like hit his wife. I don't like this painting.
Right?
I don't like the guy for hitting his wife, but that's not what I'm here to look at. I'm here to look at the painting. But then in certain situations, this guy's just a D-bag. It's a crappy painting. It's inconsistent. And it'll never be as good as anything Hank Aaron painted. Fact. All right, we're going to take a quick break. But when we get back, you're going to find out what's urinating us off. We're going to do 3 up, 3 down. Maybe talk a little bit about some fantasy football tips and tricks here coming up. NFL preseason started. Maybe we touch on the Browns. Who knows? Got a lot of ways we can go and another half a show to do it. So thanks for, we'll be right back. I'm all over the place. We'll be right back. High on Sports.
You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network. The following message is for those with a credit score of 800 and below. Who wouldn't want better credit? Did you ever wonder how different life would be from just having a higher credit score? Are you tired of being turned down for any kind of loan or only offered high interest rates because your credit score is holding you prisoner? Life doesn't have to be that way anymore with access to Turnscor. By increasing your credit score only 50 to 100 points, it can potentially save you tens of thousands of dollars in interest over just a 5 to 10 year period. It can be the difference in getting approved for a personal loan, business loan, high limits on credit cards, a brand new car lease, or even a home mortgage. We see so many ads from companies that give us our credit score, but once we get our credit score, what are they going to do to actually repair your credit? Unfortunately, nothing. Until now, Turnscor is the first automated credit repair platform that is simple, safe, and secure. You'll be empowered right from the comfort of your own computer, so you can challenge and repair your credit report to ensure it's fair and accurate. Turnscor is specifically developed with you in mind. There's no more need for an attorney, credit repair companies, or credit counseling. More importantly, no more need for paying higher fees. Turnscor will help you get back on track and get the buying power you need. So whether you have bad credit, average credit, or even good credit, Turnscor is helping turn lives around one credit score at a time. Go to turnscore.com and enter the promo code MSC20 and get $20 off your purchase. That's TURNSCOR.com. TURNSCOR.com. Turnscore.com. Looking for reliable and affordable Shoutcast audio or video hosting? JWN Media offers complete Shoutcast hosting solutions for business or personal use. All plans come with full listener stats, custom web scripts for implementing your service into your existing website, full server control, super fast network, and huge bandwidth limits. A 99.5% uptime guarantee and friendly, knowledgeable support personnel dedicated to making your hosting experience fun and easy. With plans starting at only $3 a month, you have no excuse not to get a server of your own. Plus, with the option to add auto DJ and on-demand services, you can be confident your station will be all it can be. Custom plans are also available at their website. Simply visit jwnmedia.com and click the Shoutcast hosting link to get started right now. Call the show toll free. 1-888-668-0742. You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network on morningshowcentral.com. Hey, local bands and unsigned artists. What if I told you there was a place in Cleveland where you can get your merch made and have it sold in one location? What if I said you could bring your CDs and tickets to upcoming shows to this location? And what if I said you could do live acoustic sets at this location? I bet you're thinking there's no such place in Cleveland. Guess what? You'd be wrong. Contact Rick Navario at Rock City, Cleveland, and tell him you need merch made and you want to sell it in his store. Now, how cool is that? You can tell your fans to come down and get your stuff, and I think he'd ship your products to your fans. And he's local. Contact Rick Navario at Rock City, Cleveland today. 216-622-0377. That's 216-622-0377. User-friendly and ready to serve. MorningShowCentral.com. If you have a product or service, let people know about it. Get your message out there and advertise on MSC Radio Network. It's easier than you think, and the whole planet is listening. Find out how you can advertise. Email Chris at MorningShowCentral.com. Pete 99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Jumping from one web host to another can be frustrating. Finding a good web host can be unnerving for even the most experienced of web designers. That's why Uncensored Net Noise has chosen P99 Technologies as its web hosting supplier. Established in 1999, P99 Technologies has evolved into a first-class web hosting provider. Its 99.9% uptime rivals many in the industry. That's why they offer their 30-day guarantee, no questions asked. For more information, go to P99.com. P99 Technologies will help you get started with your web presence with honest and expert customer service. P99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. Heard of the 7 deadly sins?
You are evil! Pure evil! Pure evil!
They're nothing compared to Uncensored Net Noise's 7th annual birthday bash.
But I gotta do this.
Friday, September 20th at the Rock City Tap House in Parma. Live on stage, it's Morality Check, Necros Obscura, The Burning Harlots, Darling Waste, and more for this amazing all-ages show.
Because of your words, I'm now ready to destroy.
All the details for the 7th annual Uncensored Net Noise birthday bash at MSCRadioNetwork.com. If you're looking for the best in musical equipment, recording gear, sound reinforcement, and more, Guitar Center has you covered. Guitar Center, located at 26635 Brook Park Road in North Olmsted, has the tools of your trade with the largest selection of music and sound gear in the area. They cater to your musical needs and have the knowledge to help you out. Guitar Center in North Olmsted. MorningShowCentral.com uses them. You should too. Need to know more? Go to GuitarCenter.com.
I know. Oh my God, I know what we're gonna do. Oh, it's so delicious, I can almost taste it.
If you're looking for the best sub shop in town, look no further. Hanini Subs, located at 7310 Lorraine Avenue, is the place for you. Stop in for a cold cut sub, cheeseburger and fries, wingdings and fries, and so much more. And almost taste Hanini Subs at 7310 Lorraine Avenue is open 24 hours a day. Check them out on Facebook, facebook.com/burrito crazy. And if you mention MSC Radio Network, you'll get $1 off your meal. It's all good at Hanini Subs.
So damn good.
With hundreds of live weather products and layers and thousands of combinations, Weather Studio provides a professional graphics and store monitoring solution without complex user knowledge and without the industry standard price tag of $1,000 plus broadcast systems. Weather Studio displays a plethora of critical atmospheric and geophysical data on an interactive GIS-enabled computer map. Get your free 14-day trial of Weather Studio at their website, weatherstudio.paulmarv.com. That's weatherstudio.paulmarv.com. Lakewood Computer, located at 14035 Madison Avenue in Lakewood, has it all. If you're in need of computer repairs or want to cut the cost of ink cartridges and printing supplies, count on Lakewood Computer in Lakewood, Ohio to provide it all. For the past 5 years, Lakewood Computer has been providing you with a huge assortment of computer equipment and services at very competitive prices. Lakewood Computer purchases and sells pre-owned desktops, laptops, and related equipment, and they offer outstanding prices on aftermarket printing supplies, including toner cartridges and ink cartridges. With 29 years of professional experience, Lakewood Computer is highly confident in their ability to enhance your overall computing experience. Check them out online at joeslakewoodcomputer.com. That's joeslakewoodcomputer.com. Or give them a call toll-free, 855-580-0768. That's 855-580-0768. Oh, great. Not another Farmville request. Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/morningshowcentral. Denying one Farmville request at a time.
back to High on Sports. I'm Ralphie, and with me, as always,
Ashley.
And I am Von Erich.
And whether you are joining us tonight on one of the many glorious apps or at home on your computer, thank you for making High on Sports a part of your evening. Remember, if you're not listening on one of the many glorious apps, simply take your smartphone, go to the App Store, search for TuneIn Radio. It is free to download. Install it, search MSC Radio Network, hit play. You are listening to us live on the go from your phone. If you're not listening on your phone, you could pick up that bad boy and dial 1-888-668-0742, toll free to call us, or email your questions or comments to shows@morningshowcentral.com.
Join us in the chat room.
Join us in the chat room. What are you in there today as?
Throw a banana.
There you go. Maybe you get that. Maybe you're an Orioles fan. Remember, as always, you can tweet at us at high_on_sports or the hashtag high on sports. Facebook.com/high on sports is the obviously Facebook page. And the website is highonsports.net. It's the archive of all our past shows, my blog, fun stuff. Again, that is highonsports.net. Go there right now. Just stare at it. It's fun. It's entertaining. It's a beautiful picture of us on there. We look very... If you don't know what we look like, well, I mean, you can watch us on the webcam, but maybe you only listen from your phone. And you're like, what do these guys look like? I bet they're all pretty attractive. And then you'll realize more so than you ever thought. So, all right. Let's get right into things here.
That's the way you went with that one.
It is round 2. Let's go. Yeah, I don't want to insult anybody. All right, it's time for a staple of High on Sports. That is, of course, what's urinating us off. And we're going to start, as we always do, with Von Erich. Von Erich, what's urinating you off?
Well, you have a lot of fair weather baseball fans who don't
Absolutely.
really understand the game so much. But, you know, when they start to run their mouth, I do get a little urinated off. Specifically, today, Mark Reynolds released from the team, granted his unconditional release, if I'm not mistaken, if he clears waivers, or I'm not exactly sure how that works. But you get these fans...
I believe he did clear it. I could be mistaken. I'll double check on that, but...
You get people who, say, "Oh, this is a terrible move. Why not give him at least a chance to come back and do something good?" And these are the same people that were complaining that Vinny Pistano got sent down. And on moves like this, I'm just thankful that the Indians management, has the cojones to make moves like this for the betterment of the team. And these delusional baseball fans that somehow think Mark Reynolds was going to be, our key to postseason success, you're dead wrong. They got rid of him for a reason. He was underperforming and showed no signs of improvement. Same thing with Pistano. We're at least giving him a chance to, work his shit out down in the minors.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully he can do that. He's been too good for too long to just, release him.
I think a big part of that is the upside versus, a hot streak. Is you look at Vinny Pistano's been good his whole time here, really. I mean, Mark Reynolds was just... You call this a drought, really? Most people do. You think of it at first like, he's in a drought, he's in a slump, but he'll pick it up. You'll see. But then it gets to a point where the only good baseball was for a month.
Yeah.
It was April. At some point, it's not a slump anymore. At some point,
you suck.
The great ball in April was the hot streak, and now is what you really have. I mean, he's had plenty of opportunities to succeed and to start hitting the ball well again, and he just has not. I completely agree with you. This was the right move, and anybody questioning it, I mean, this was. Let's be honest what we had here. This was, for all intents and purposes, a rental in that he was signed for a year. This is a 1-year deal, and at least look at how he's playing. He did not garner a return.
No.
Not like Ryan Rayburn, of course, they signed a 2-year deal. They signed a 2-year extension with a club option for the 3rd year, too. So, I mean, that's awesome. That's an exciting move. That's a smart move. It would not have been a smart move to try to lock him up to anything. $6 million, was it $6 million for this year? And I'm assuming now they won't have to pay all of that at least. But, I mean, it's just, this is exactly what they should have done. This was the right move. And like you said, I'm actually kind of proud of them for having the balls to do it. Because it's a move, where it's easy to sit there, call in shows and stuff and say, oh, yeah, they just need to, just shit can this guy, just screw him, whatever. But to actually have the balls to go out and do it, kudos for them.
Yeah.
This was definitely the right move.
Well, yeah, because you can't wait around 6 months for him to come out of his slump. Clearly, he wasn't coming out of it.
Exactly.
So, yeah. I mean, I'm still sad about Pastano getting sent down, but he did blow ass this year.
And he's sent down. It's
And
not
same
Yeah.
thing
he's
earlier
not
in the year
gone.
when we sent down Chisenhall for not performing.
Yeah.
He was the next big thing. He's going to be the next Kipnis. Everyone was calling Chisenhall, but hey, you're not performing. Get your ass down to the minors and
Figure it out.
he's back up now, but that's because of injuries and poor performance from guys like Reynolds.
He's been better, correct?
Yes.
I mean, I
He
haven't
has
seen
been
the
better
stats
since
for
he
a
came
while.
back.
Hitting the shit out of the ball down in the minors.
Oh yeah.
And
I-
proved that, hey, there was nothing left for him down there to do, and he's going to have to, just learn how to field his position and, make adjustments when he's at the plate, and hopefully he can
He
turn into a
needs
solid
to
guy.
learn how to take balls.
And
Because his problem is he apparently doesn't like to walk, so the dummy swings at everything. And I'm like, you're chasing bad pitches, and that's why you're getting out.
You know what? To his credit, though, as far as waiting to really start performing, when he did get to that point where it's like, all right, Lonnie, you're at the end of the line here. You can't do any more in AAA. You're not going to get any better from being down there at this point. It's sort of like succeed or fail. This is your we're not like going to keep sending you down and up and down and up and down and up. You're the guy or you aren't the guy. And he really, had the wherewithal and everything to when you get to that like fight or flight state, backed up into a corner, he fought. He fought, and he's been performing better than he has, in last year or any other time that he's really been given a chance, and it's good for him. Kudos for him. Nice to see a guy like that finally have it start coming together. Thank you, Von Erich, for that.
You're very
urinating
welcome.
off. That was very nice. Mine now comes to us from the world of college football. Of course, is starting just around the corner, so that's pretty exciting. But this part, not so exciting. Of course, the way the state of college football now is corruption, and it's all about the money and everything like that. College football is not as far as on the field, it's been awesome, but off the field, it hasn't been worse. But either way, my urinating off comes to us from Louisville. All right, Louisville, one of the schools that was really briefly affected, I think, with what was maybe one of the shortest giant scandals ever. Was obviously things are still going on with Johnny Manziel, but people had found that the guy who's selling the Johnny Manziel stuff, and all of a sudden, huge scandal. This was Tuesday or something, where all of a sudden it was just looked like it was going to be a colossal disaster. Where suddenly it was like, well, there's also signed merchandise from Braxton Miller of Ohio State, Taj Boyd of Clemson, Jadeveon Clowney of South Carolina, and Teddy Bridgewater of Louisville. All of a sudden, it was like the biggest stars in college football. Suddenly, just one morning was like, oh my God, everyone's going down. This is terrible. Then a bit of investigation on their part and everything, which it all was released prematurely. Everybody that I just mentioned, except Johnny Manziel, has been totally, completely cleared of what went down. They found, this guy has merchandise, but there's no reason to believe that they sold it to him. Or anything
they were
like
just
that.
signing merchandise, that's all.
Exactly.
They weren't charging for it. Well, at least not to anyone's knowledge.
Well, exactly. and either way, the point is Louisville, who of course had one of those players, Teddy Bridgewater, is calling what's been going on with the status of college football a, quote, national problem. And in spite of that, they have now announced that this Sunday is their fan day, where they invite students and locals and just all-around fans of the Cardinals to come out and watch them practice and everything like that. Like the Browns just did their family fun night this past Friday, which was, real good fun for everybody, as
Fun
the
time
name
was had
would
by all.
suggest. Exactly.
As Mr. Allen would say.
But they've just announced no autographs for the fans that come to attend Fan Day. Now, first of all, let me start by saying I don't get autographs. Like, I know that sounds sacrilegious as a sports show host and everything. It's not my thing. I have some old Jim Thome ones, obviously from his first stint with the Indians. But it's just never been the thing for me. I get the history and everything of it, but and I guess I'm just not the type of guy that's been a real historian and everything with this kind of stuff for the most part. But I just don't get standing in line and everything, and it's like write your name on this like piece of paper And it's like, oh my God, he wrote his name on it. Like, it's not my thing. I get it. You know, it's just a cup of tea to begin with. I've never really like gone on my way for autographs, but
I like the pictures.
It depends on the item. Like a picture would be nice when you're at a show, like to see a concert, to have the actual album autographed by the band, something like that. But, you know, just if you happen to see someone out and about, hey, can you autograph this napkin? That's ridiculous.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a little,
exactly.
But
I would never approach them on their own for any kind of
I'd
autograph
walk
or
up
anything
to them,
like
shake
that.
their hand, say hello, say I'm a fan, but autograph,
Yeah, but
maybe ask for a photo. That'd be a lot better than a autograph.
Yeah, quick picture with them. Sure, that's, you know, for Facebook and bragging.
But if they're having autograph sessions, like at the Terrace Club at the Indians, you know, at Progressive Field, you know, last Father's Day, I went and I was in the Terrace Club, and Kenny Lofton was there, Carlos Baerga was there, and I walked up, got an autograph. I didn't ask for it. All I wanted was the picture, but I got a picture with both of them. I like that better.
Yeah. Again, like, that's a great point. Is the picture with the athlete or celebrity or whoever is definitely, I would go for that. Autographs are just not my thing. You know, it's like what do you do with it? It's like, especially when it is a situation like you said, like we talked about, where you're waiting in line and get all the way up to him and stuff. Like, I mean, do you brag about that? You go like, hey, look, I waited in line and this famous person signed, like, wrote their name on this. Jealous? Because you could have also just waited in line behind me and done the same thing, you know. But either way, the fact of the matter is, this is the college level, and this is your fans and friends stuff. This is I'll give them this credit, a cool time to get an autograph. You get an autograph from like somebody, because there's always somebody comes in there who's undrafted or a late draft pick or something, suddenly turns into a superstar. How many people do you think there was at Michigan that got like a Tom Brady autograph, and it's just like, yeah, no, whatever. Who cares? And now all of a sudden he's Tommy Terrific, 3-time Super Bowl champion, selected in the 5th round and everything. And all of a sudden it's like, yeah, here's an autograph from when he was in like frickin' geometry, like in my math class. Like, suck it. Like, that's cool when it turns out like that. Some of these college guys, like Teddy Bridgewater, that'd be nice, you know, Teddy Bridgewater autograph, especially if he does go on to do great things in the NFL and stuff. But the fact is, if you're a fan of Louisville, you can't get that now at Fan Day. Which is absolutely ridiculous. A national problem. There's not going to be, if you monitor them better, there's not going to be an opportunity at Fan Day for it to be like, oh, I'm such a huge fan. Will you sign this? Sure. You got $5.
Right?
Otherwise, back off.
Because obviously,
like,
it's
come
going to
on.
all be signed for free on. Yeah, that's just stupid.
And
what it sucks is because you know there's going to be a lot of kids who go to that.
Exactly.
And kids love getting
autographs.
autographs.
Great for kids. Exactly.
Kids love getting them, and now you're going to tell a 8-year-old that he can't get his football signed by Teddy Bridgewater? Really, dude? Come on.
That's so stupid.
Let the dude sign the kid's stuff.
That's absolutely stupid. Ugh. But, I mean, it's just... Thank God Braxton Miller isn't going to be investigated further for anything, though,
Right,
or whatever.
dear God.
When I heard that name on the list, my heart skipped a beat. I was like, I'm going to die.
Not again.
I'm just going to die here.
I can't go through that again.
No. Oh, it would have been bad. But no, I mean, you and I talked about this. It is, I do understand, it is a rule. Whether you like a rule or not, a rule's a rule. But this is so stupid. I get certain things. I get that don't pay the players. I get how that gets complicated. Because of Title IX with everything, you can't just start paying the football players. You have to pay, if you're going to pay a football player, you got to pay a diver too. And you can't play favoritism like that. I get that. I understand how much of a hornet's nest and a minefield and how complicated that gets. But if somebody is willing to give a kid money just to write his name on a picture, let him have that. Let him have that.
Yeah. Because they can't work. Because, I mean, one, look, college kids are broke.
Exactly.
I was in college. You have no damn money when you're in college. And yes, I get you don't get paid because most of them are on scholarships, and 4 years of free school.
You get a
that's
free
getting
education.
paid.
That's your payment, sure.
Because when you get out and you had to pay
stipend.
for it, that's like $60K racked up in debt. But anyways, so I get not paying all that, but selling your stuff, if you want to have a goddamn garage sale and sell something of yours, or you want to sell your name, you should be allowed to do it. You should be.
Being able to get...
You're not taking, you're not just taking money from boosters and all these other people who are like, hey, do this for me, here's some money. No, they're just like, hey, you want these sweatpants that I wore in warm-ups for the bowl game?
Like, listen, handing someone actual, real, legitimate money for them to write their name on a ball or a shoe or some crap is stupid. But if you flip that, if someone will actually give you money
to sign your name,
write your name, one of the easiest things you can do,
right?
Unless you're like
whoop,
Jared Saltalamacchia, where you have to sound it out and like try to remember how to spell it every time.
That's when you just put JS.
Exactly.
J-Salt.
If someone will actually give you money to jot your name on a shoe, take it and run. Except don't, because
when you're
obviously it's against the rule.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that's my point. Is if you can get it, you should be allowed to.
You should be allowed.
And like you said, the garage sale's a great comparison. This is my crap. If I want to sell it, I got this crap by legal means. I didn't steal it or anything.
Right?
If I want to sell it, it should be my property to sell. Private property, personal property, stuff like that. That's what this country was founded on. That and that whole 51% thing about beating up A-Rod. All that. Anyways, down time for 3 up, 3 down. Same way we always on the show. Down number 2, I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs. Halfback Jamal Charles carted off the field in practice with x-rays on his foot. I should note, since I put him in the down column, it has been revealed that it's not broken. It's a bone strain, or they make up new words every injury. I don't even know. It's a bone twitch, or I don't care. Down number 3, we just said to Louisville fans. School announcement will not allow fans to get autographs at Fan Day due to, quote, a national problem. Down number 1, our Cleveland Indians went 1-6 this week, including a 4-game sweep from the Tigers, setting them 7 games out of first place. Uptime, though, I always like to leave on a positive note. We'll start with number 3. The University of Texas just announced that they lead all NCAA schools in merchandise sale for the 8th straight year. Who'd have thunk it? Especially with how they've been playing. Up number 2, Usain Bolt won the World Championship 100-meter dash this weekend. And if you saw the picture we put on the Facebook, somebody snapped a photo. Right as he crossed, a lightning bolt streaked across the sky.
Crazy.
God's totally in on it. It's all a conspiracy. Starts up at the top with God.
I didn't see the lightning
and then
bolt.
down.
I'm going to check it out now.
Check it out on the High On Sports Facebook. That's facebook.com/High On Sports. Up number 1, the pride of Cleveland, Jason Duffner, the Cleveland native, won the PGA Championship for his first major win in his
Cleveland boy representing
career. Seatown pride. You gotta love it. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us this week. Next week, we'll have more baseball to talk, football, both college and professional, all that and so much more. So for Chris, for Von Erich, for Ashley, I'm Ralphie saying good night, everybody. We will see you next week. Same time, same place. Thanks for listening to High On Sports on MorningShowCentral.com.